Here we go then. In Spain, the lights are very much here. It's about to go down in the Rwagnation F1 race. The lights have gone out. The drivers are prepped and ready to get going. And off we go. Brownie has got a pretty smooth start. It also looks like the Williams of Hugo's actually got a good start. Bit of pinballing going on at the back. I believe that is Vanier. Brownie's trying to defend from Hugo's, who got a really good run. It's also Geon is up into race lead. Brownie start he needed, and going in towards turn 1-2, looks like Vanier's being left hanging out to dry. He's down the back now, P15, and Hugo's still looking to get a move done on Brownie as quick as he can.
Yep, Hugo's is there, just keeping Brownie honest, but Brownie's dropped off a little bit from the back of Get On. There's Zones already made his way up to P4, and my podium predictions are just one position away from being in the right spot. So let's see if Zones can make this move done and get past Hugo's. And
oh, Danico, no! He's been rotated. That wasn't actually contact. He just tried to go side by side with Yonti through that corner. And yeah, sorry to cut you off, but that was a bit of a mistake there from the rest of my driver. Both of them at the back of the grid now.
Yep, then with a big gap to P16, which really hampered their race. They're going to need a safety car now. Already, not even finished lap 1. They are looking different. Oh, but it looks like there's some drivers off in front. That's Rainbow out of the race for this race, and Higgsy looks like he's had a collision as well.
I think it was between the two of them. Higgsy, 10-second time penalty for exceeding track limits. We have lost Rainbow. I didn't even see where that happened. He did say he was having wheel issues before this race started. He was having force feedback problems. Yellow flag sector 3, that is the Red Bull of Rainbow, so he didn't actually crash and die, he just retired on the circuit. And we'll see whether or not he's going to be in trouble from the stewards as a result. However, Zuns on the back of Hugo's looking for the outside line through turn 4. It's a very long run around here, but if he can keep himself alongside, he'll be in the better for turn 5, which I think is exactly what we're going to be seeing here. There it is. Very nice and smoothly done. Ahead of Hugo's and up to P3.
That's a great recovery from him so far, just trying to make that move on Yolta, but Yolta's taking the inside line, just cutting him off a little bit, but going round the outside, top, trying to make this move stick. What an attempt there.
Yolta and Vanier had a bit of a touch there between them. Actually, Yolta's just ahead of Vanier.
He's now just said to get owned. Go.
Tom. Wow, what a run round the outside of Chanakinchi through turn 1. Chandy just got caught sleeping now on the straight. Yeah, he's going for a move already down to the outside of turn 1. He's going to get that position locked in, but a big lock up there on his tyres. Yep, I think he was listening to you there, Badger. He said, okay, fine, I'll do it. I'll go for a move. I'll get the position. I'll go ahead, and I'll start to break away. Brownie has 5% ERS. He's not going to be using his ERS, because he can't afford to. Hugo's, though, he can smell blood. He can smell Zones on the inside. He's going to squeeze him up to the edge. Hugo's going to have to make a really good run around the outside on Zones, and I think he's done exactly that. Beautiful move from Hugo's up to P3 now, and he can start focusing on Brownie. Down to 1 second between them. Hugo's looking for the inside. Oh, Brownie goes for a defensive move. This is going to destabilize Hugo's. It's actually going to force him off the circuit. Brownie, again, holding his line, but this is causing disaster for both of them. He did not want this to happen. Brownie should have let him go, because they're going to fight again through turn 4. They're going to lose more time to P1. And Geon is getting his wet dream right now. Hugo's finally gets past Brownie up to P2, but he has a big task on his hand to close back in on Geon. We have a new challenger who's stepped into the arena. That is Mr. Some Idiot, who's brought himself into the DRS of all of the drivers ahead. He's not much better on ERS, but I mean, in fairness, he had to use a lot of it to close back in again. So, he does have, however, much better tyre wear. He's 9 laps in on these hards, which is 2 less than our current race leader, and then 3 less for Hugo's and Brownie, 4 even for Zones. So he should be a little bit better off. Great, I think Uni's actually slowly reeling this in. Brownie looking for Hugo's. This is going to be a late move around the outside of turn 1. A massive momentum shift through turn 1. He did have to ride the curb on the inside of turn 2. Hugo's is actually still here too. He's also going for a move, and look at the gap between Brownie and Get On. It's just getting bigger and bigger. 2.1, almost up towards 2.2. Chan and Tom have swapped places. Brownie has locked in P2 for now.
Seconds. Safso 9 seconds, and Brexit had 3 seconds before he retired.
Oh, it's actually Tom Tom around the outside of Chan. Akinci got a beautiful run there. Through alongside, but Chan stuck it all the way around as well. He did a Yolta, but this is where Top Tom exceeds. He can actually keep his car alongside the other driver, especially through turn 4. If he can do that, he should be able to get it through turn 5. Job done. Seal the deal. Chan's car getting a little bit sideways there did allow Top Tom to get that position locked in. Looking at Hugo's because he's on the home straight. He's looking for Brownie. We are on the final lap, so this is very important for them, but he also has to manage that gap to Get On. He cannot allow it to get to 3 seconds, otherwise the win is gone. Brownie tried to stick it down the inside. He couldn't quite get it. Hugo's is now free and up to P2, but the time is extending. Keep your eyes firmly locked on that clock because it's going to keep extending unless Hugo's finds a natural pace. And Samidia now, he's going to start getting desperate. He has to close in for Zones. Zones has to close in for Brownie. A bit of a mistake there from Samidia has allowed the gap to extend a little bit, and this final lap is going to be so desperate. But Get On, so close to being the race winner. He's going to be kicking himself if he can't quite get that extra 2/10 eked out of this gap. And you know at the same time, Zerzi looking for Brownie, trying to get around the outside. It's not going to work. Get On is going to drag race to the line. He will make it and cross the line. P1. Hugo's will get P2. That is a firm. Then Brownie P3. Zones P4. Some idiot P5 with Huni. We'll come back a little bit further back in P6. Yolta P7. Top Tom in P8. Chan, I think we'll jump him. No, it stays P9. Oh, who was that? Yonti! Yonti leaps to P7, and bear in mind, he started on the soft compound tyres.
Yeah, soft to hards there worked out for him a little bit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, this is the RNL League. We are coming to you from Monaco. I'm Amkasa, and in the comms booth with me today is the Horned Badger. How are you doing, my man? You are a touch quiet for me, so let me a second. I'm just going to turn you up a switch. There we go. How was that? That should be better. Yes, it's still a little bit quiet. I'm just going to turn it up a little bit more. I think I'm going to just a little bit down. There we go, that should be better. Right, how are you doing, my man? That's good, yes. It's interesting to be back here. It's been a very, very long time. You are incredibly quiet for me. I can't do much more than I have done. I can turn my volume up a switch. On screen, sorry, we've got the drive standings. Get Otis carrying on 106, followed by Zones on 82, Felix, Lungo, Brownie on 66, somebody on 42, Poppy and Hawaii tied on 28, Danico just behind on 26, as is Hugo on 24, Rainbow and Vexit on 19 and 18 respectively. And the next lot, Top Tom is on 14, followed by Yurt on 13, and on 9, Yonti on 6, Brownie on 4, followed by Higgsy Dennis on 2, and Safso there on 0 points. So we'll have a quick look then at the constructor standings. You just heard the beeping, so it means we are going to be going into qualifying very shortly. Hopefully we'll get the constructors coming up any second now. There we go. No, we've got the hot lap. I missed the constructors. So this, we're on board then with Yonti for the hot lap here of Monaco as we go through standard on turn 1. Probably turn the off. As we go up the hill through Beau Rivage up towards Newton at the left turn 3, followed quickly by Casino turn 4. We then go downhill. Avoid that nasty little bump on there. That is a tree which coming through the track. Through the first of the Mirrors turn 5 towards the Grand Hotel hairpin or lowest hairpin. Call it. Show how old you are. I'm old, so it's lowest hairpin. Through the second of the Mirrors on towards Portier turn 8. As we then go in towards the tunnel. Officially it's turn 9. Not really a turn, but it's still in the wet and with a bit of damage. It can be a little bit of lifting required. As you go downhill, literally as you turn downhill, you start braking through. Then Nouveau Chicane, turn 10 and the 11 towards the back, turn 12. So easy to lose your wing there. And then we come to the swimming pool complex, turn 13, 14, 15 and 16 there. As you come towards Raskas, named after the restaurant on the inside of the track, just there. You can't quite really see it. 2 corners less, Anthony Nujo's. The right, then left, and then straight up towards the line. And that is then a fly lap, and qualifying has literally just got underway. And let's flip on over then. I think it's in. It's been a while. Yes, there is there. So let's flip on over to the race, and there we go. So give me an audio check.
Hello, hello. How do I sound?
You are still quite quiet, so let me just turn game sounds down a touch and turn you up through other methods. That's what I'm doing. Let's turn you up. Hopefully that's now louder for the people to hear.
Hello, how are we doing now, guys?
Well, I'm fine. Hopefully people can hear you. It's a little bit.
Fingers crossed.
It's really quiet for me as well. So it's not just the people watching; it's me as well.
Right, I'll see if I can find a way to sort that.
But anyway, we are on track. We've only got 14 drivers, but at the same time, it's a blessing in disguise here at Monaco. It's not a track you want to find another driver going a slow lap where you are on a fast lap. Dennis is going to be one of the first people to start said flying lap, as he's going to come around then the final couple of corners and get us going then. And, well, we'll hopefully be able to hear you soon.
Yep, trying to fix that now.
Oh, big hit the wall there for Dennis. Has he taken any damage? I think he might have taken a little bit front left damage then. It looks like he might have done. I can't get a good view. Yes, he has. He's lost front left end plates then on that Alfa Romeo. And he's going to be hurt if the rest of the lap. He might actually just straight back out of it. It looks like he has done.
Is this any better?
I don't know why he's so quiet for me. I can't do much more, unfortunately. I've turned you up as high as it goes on Discord.
What about now?
Well, that's a little bit louder.
A little bit, or like too much?
No, it's fine for me. Hopefully it's fine for everyone else. They said they could just hear you, so...
I'll leave it at that. I will leave it at that.
Right, Dennis has backed out of his lap after suffering damage then. Front, he's all over the place. Front left damage on turn 1 of all places. Not a place you want to pick up damage.
No, but very easy to do due to that bump just as you're heading into the braking zone. So very easy to just hit that bump too hard, lock up the tyre, and then into the wall you go.
True that. But yeah, he's done that. Higsy then gets us the fastest lap so far. We have times are flying in. Let's have a look whose zones is coming up now. Does he go faster? He does. Well, significantly faster, shall we say. And yeah, it's a very quick lap there from zones. Taking provisional pole with a long way to go.
Yep, that's a nice gap that he's built up there, but Hugo's in second place. I'm excited to see what he can do after that kind of out of the blue win last week. So hopefully he can continue his form and show us some really good pace around here. Yeah,
we've got somebody out there on mediums at the moment. We've not been given a weather forecast. Current weather is light cloud, air 22, track of 31. So we'll see. It seems quite cool, so hopefully that offers them longer tyre life, but not quite as much grip. There's a yellow in sector 2 or 3 who's caused that? Is that Higgsy or Ken? It's gone anyway, so it doesn't matter. I think this is an invalidation lap for Yonti, by the way.
Yeah, it looks like it. Yep, so that's just, looks like everyone's going to be probably coming back into the pits just now. Yonti's invalidated. In fact, that might be in his outlap. He's going again. So we'll see if he's able to do a time. I'm going to stick on board with him and see. He manages to navigate that bump pretty well and just runs his tyre right up against the wall as close as you can do. That's just about perfect for that.
Yep. Well, he's pushing this car to the absolute limits of the track, just rubbing the walls where he can forward. Not many places you can actually afford to touch the walls, but you've got to use all the track you've got, haven't you?
Yeah, you've got to get as close as you can, but obviously at Monaco, you're always pretty close to the walls. They are ever encroaching upon you.
I'm just going to try and turn up Discord. I mean, it's at the same volume as everything else, but let's see.
Is it still quiet?
I'm turning up. Hopefully it's not going to deafen everyone, but I've turned it up a smidge. Well, fingers crossed it either deafens them or fingers crossed it doesn't. I don't mind which. Either's quite funny. But Brownlee is also on a lap, so we'll jump on board with him once Yonti has finished his, coming out to the final couple of corners, and he brings in the pits.
Yep. I think maybe that last lap that he had done was just a sighter. He wanted to finish it even though it was invalid, and he's coming back in, getting new pair bits.
Yep. I mean, you put an extra lap on those. You don't want to go and finish the lap on those and have to start the race on them. You can be quite detrimental to your progress here, unless of course it rains. This is the first time I've qualified my film 2020. I haven't watched many races in a while. Do they often start on the softest compound, irregardless of the track?
Highly depends, honestly.
Okay.
Sometimes yes, a lot of the time no.
Because everyone started on softs. Which, if this was 2019, I'd say, ooh, wet race. Because you don't often see them doing this. You don't see them going out hard on a race compound that they want to start the race on. Could be an indication of rain. It could just be an indication that I don't know the game enough. Time will tell.
Yeah, we will indeed find out. I think you can do soft to medium around here potentially. I mean, realistically, at Monaco, you always want to try and make it a one-stop. So. Track position is king around here, so we'll see if anyone wants to do anything other. But you often see some idiot doing the alternate strategy to everyone else, and he is on the medium tyres, as you pointed out, on his out lap here. He's already set at an alright time, at 109.6.
He's
but
on softs
he'll
now,
definitely be wanting to try and. What's that?
He did his fastest on mediums. He's now moved to softs. His fitted tyres are softs.
Oh, sad face.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a pretty decent lap at the end of the day for a set of mediums on the first run. Quite early in qualifying, you probably expect about 0.6, 0.8 of a second detrimental between them. So you might touch the top three with his actual lap. Time will tell. Get-On has just put in his lap of 8.52 to get him to P2. As Danico is on his lap, coming through the swimming pool complex, flying through there, just keeping out of the walls, so close. It's amazing how close these guys get. Even the real drivers get just as close as well.
Yeah, you've got to have lots of confidence in your car to be able to do the things that these guys are doing. You don't want to be going, 150 miles at turn right, and then suddenly the car doesn't turn right and you go straight into the wall. So you need to have a lot of confidence in the machinery underneath you. Yeah,
it's less of an issue if you are playing an esports game than you are playing the real game, isn't it? I think that's why we see quicker lap times on these games, because there's no fear. If you hit the wall, you hit the wall. You don't have problems. If you hit the wall in real life, especially here, you might have problems. Yeah, and a very expensive check to pay out to get repairs done on the car. Well, fortunately, so you don't have to pay for those. The top three. Somebody managed to slot himself into to P3 there, and the Get-On's actually got back to the pits and stuck on some medium tyres. Does he think he could go faster on medium tyres than he's done on the softs? He's got to be baiting. There's no reason to. He's not gone out. He's still in the pits with those mediums on. He's just trying to get people to start thinking things. Can is on his way coming through the swimming pool complex himself, and we'll see what time he can put up. He's gone personal best in the first sector. Not.
Get Owned has came out on those tyres.
Oh, interesting. Well, maybe he's just bored and thought I'll go out for a lap and come in just to wind people up.
Maybe we'll see. We'll see.
Can didn't improve, so he stays P4. Safzo is still 13th. Let's have a look at him. He's gone red, so never mind. He will not be putting a lap in. Hugo's, where's he? Winner from last week.
Yep, indeed. He's.
Oh, that's not a good time. Sorry, Hugo's, for jinxing you there, but I went to watch you and you crashed. Just clipped the left-hand side of the new badge cane, stuck it in the wall on the right, and that's Hugo's done and dusted for qualifying. And it sort of almost is that car before the storm time, isn't it? But they're all on out laps, so maybe if they do one lap, go in and do another lap.
Yeah, that'll be the case. Everyone will want to get one more run in just now, and then they'll come in for that special time period. Yeah, I'm just having a quick look. I mean, Get-On's just starting his lap now. He's got a little bit of a gap in front, so he should be fine. He shouldn't going to get bothered on this lap, but I want to see exactly how well he can handle it. And so far, so good. That was an incredible first turn, right up against the wall as you should. Clip the curb nicely. He certainly looks like he's got the pace.
Well, he's got to beat his previous time, then. That's the thing. If he wants to actually start on these mediums, which is not going to be an easy task. Yes, okay, the track's getting grippier and grippier as time goes. But, he's down on his best so far. He did an 18.16. His best was an 18.07. So it's an uphill battle for him.
It is, but you know, it's something he's trying. So maybe he thinks he did leave some time on the table. A little bit of a lock up there. Cuts that chicane nicely, but doesn't actually invalidate the lap, and he's still going through the swimming pool.
Yeah, Brownie puts himself up to P3, by the way.
Well done, Brownie. That was a great effort from him as well. Just 7,000ths of a second behind Get Owned. But there's Top Tom slotting in, putting himself into P2. But that time from zones, a 108.1, is still sitting pretty mighty.
And he is out on another lap then with 5.5 minutes left. Some idiot is just returned to the session. And he finds himself in P5. A couple of people have passed him since he left the session. He'll come and go, hang on, I was third a second ago. What happened?
Yeah, he's not. Right. He'll have had a little bit of a shock when that happened.
Yeah, Yelter on his way as well. He's the next man to come across the line. Currently P8. Can he mix it with the Shizu boys at the top? It was 1-2-3 a second ago. Will it be 1-2-3 or at least one something? No, P6 is the best for him so far, with under 5 minutes left of the session, so he'll be racing on back to the pits. And Zones is then going to be the next man to cross the line, and we'll enter that stage. Oh, and Zones is straight in the pits. So, no cars doing laps at the moment. Going might be, actually. I say that. No, he's well off the pace. He's got to be coming in. Yeah, he's well off the pace looking at the timing boards. So, it is that time. He might not be here, but we can still say it. It is the car before the storm.
Yep, it is that time. It is that time. Everyone's sitting in here, apart from Yolta. He's just on his way back, and he will try and get some new boots on. And it looks like Chan is actually the first person to go. He started moving out a little bit early for his outlap, but he wants to try and hopefully get some clear track. But what he's got to be careful of is if everyone else just starts filtering out the pits while he's on his hot lap, he might have some traffic to navigate during his timed run.
Yeah, he's out there along with his teammate Higgsy down in 11th place. There's currently no movement down in the pit lane, so they are doing okay, but he's still got to do half a lap before we can say he's going to be clear. I'm keeping my eyes on those dots in the pit lane to see if anyone starts moving. He might be okay. His teammate Higgsy might have some problems. Commentator, the session is 35 seconds longer than what it's showing, so it is very, very early for Can to come out.
Yep, especially if as you say, we've got that extra 35-40 seconds for the spectator mode.
Oh, copy.
But
It's not even on track. He's just retired.
Yeah.
He got a qualifying ban? I wonder if... Or someone can confirm that to
yes,
us.
I think actually, did Kopic? It was in an instant. I don't know if he did get a qualifying ban. We shall see. It's interesting though. He's not set a time and he's just retired. I'll have to check the penalty board at some point, but let's have a wee look. Jan is now on his lap, and
It's clear. He's got loads of space in front of him.
yeah, loads of space. It's
So
absolutely timed
teammate.
this one run pretty well.
His teammate's got one of the Pink Panthers ahead of him, but... Well, there's only one Pink Panther left, which is Danico, but there shouldn't be
Danica.
really much of an issue. He'll be going
Yep, he should
soon.
get the run.
What can achieve then? Ryan can put it in the top 3.
It's looking tidy so far, but oh, nearly clipping the wall there. That was the Max Verstappen clip, you know. Just get as close as you can. Just get the wings shaking off the wall slightly, but don't touch it. That's how you do it. It was a very good run through there.
And across the line up to P5 then for Can. He could have done better, but he set personal bests then, though, in the first 3 sectors. I haven't got the sector 3 time appeared yet. My telemetry is a bit slow nowadays. It wasn't faster.
No, it's slightly slower. Only lost a tenth or so. But around Monaco, it all is very, very tight, very close. So a tenth could be the world of difference.
I was trying to get onto Higgsy, but I missed the button. Higgsy's jumped up to P10 then. And he's... Oh, well, there's only 2 people below him that are putting a time so far, so he's not going to drop too far when the checker flag falls. Who's currently on a lap? Some idiot is, and he's coming to finish his lap.
And Zones has just started his.
And some idiot to P3 then for him, and Zones, yes, just starting, going up the hill through Massenet in towards Casino. These corners just come at you so quick, and it's amazing how quickly you can actually just drive this track without, well, making a mess of yourself, because of how close those walls are. There is zero margin of error on this track, as you know from driving the F2s earlier.
Indeed. It was,
Sorry to bring it up.
I don't want to talk about it.
No?
And Zones backs out.
Oh,
Zones
interesting.
backs out.
He's got time.
He does have time, but does he want to use these tyres again and potentially start on tyres that have done 2 laps, rather 2 flying laps rather than the 1 flyer? I mean, he's certainly charging his ERS again, so it looks like he is going to attempt it. I mean, right now it seems like just adding risk. You know, you obviously want to try and secure that pole, but you've got it by over 2 tenths at the moment, and it means that you'll potentially be ruining your tyres a little bit for the race. But here he goes again, trying to go a little bit faster.
It's a big risk. If he gets it, it's a big risk, because he's not really under much stress at the moment. He's got such a big lead over Top Tom, and some idiot's even done his lap. Don't forget the time, it is about 35 seconds out, so we should be getting the actual checker flag shortly. I'm not sure. Should be about 5 seconds away, shouldn't it?
Yeah, roughly.
Brownlee P2 then, good lap from him. Top Tom is in 3rd, he'll be coming on his way soon. Next up though, of the top runners, you got Get Owned just behind Yeltsin, who's gone off there. And Yeltsin, I think, is backed out then.
Yeah, but that would have distracted Get Owned a little bit, but we might still be able to put in a decent time.
And coming towards the line then through the final corner, get that DRS wide open. What's he going to get? P2, so Get Owned
P2.
may have this.
That was a very good lap there, just a few hundreds behind Zones, but Zones here coming through the final turn now. Let's see if he's able to improve.
Yep, final sprint for him, and he does improve. Oh,
That is an enormous improvement.
Top Tom up to P2 then. He would have taken pole if Zones hadn't put that lap in, I think.
That was incredible from Zones. Well done, sir. Take a bow.
And fan favourite Dennis comes across the line in P12 then. So he was starting just outside that top 10. So he's got a chance to mix it up strategy-wise. Where is Brownie? He's limping his way back to the pits.
I can confirm though that zones would have still been pole.
Oh, you would have done.
Uh,
Ooh.
yep, he had a 108.122. Top Tom's is a 108.166, so he would have still been on pole. But I mean, if you want to throw down a marker, you know, you throw down and say, well, here I'll go 3/10 faster than what you can do.
Yeah, but how much is that going to cost him in the race? How much life did he take out those tyres in that first flying lap? He may be doing a double stopper because of it.
I doubt it would go to a two-stop, but I do think that it's potential for him just for a lap or two. He might be under some pressure from the guys behind. We'll see if he's able to push out further and try and build up that gap and build up a lead so that he's got a little bit of a buffer for when his tyres do start to drop, but time will tell.
Well, there are your final positions then for qualifying zones. Takes the pole from Top Tom, followed by Get Owned, Brownlee, Somebody It Can, Yelta, Hugo's, Yonti, and Higgsy rounding out your top 10. Just missing out on the top 10, you got Danny, Dennis, Safso, and Copy with no time. So we'll see what he can do from back there. It's going to be a really tough race for anyone who's not, I'd say anyone who's not in the top 4. Can you look at anyone else to take a win outside the top 4?
I mean, somebody that can do it. We've seen him do strange things where he'll go extra long in a stint and then really come towards it at the end. The problem is that around Monaco, having more tyre wear, more tyre life, isn't always going to be beneficial, as Daniel Ricciardo will tell you. You know, he had far better tyres than Lewis. Lewis, you know, was screaming at Bono for 12, 15 laps, and Daniel just couldn't get by. You know, he had all the grip in the world, all the pace, but positioning your car well around this track and no one can take you.
Yeah, we saw it. Lewis had half an engine, didn't he? Or was that Danny Rick that had half an engine and still won the race? The hybrid part was out, wasn't it?
It was the tyres for Lewis that had went out, but
the tyres are always out for Lewis.
Yeah, but Ricciardo was winning the race, and then when he came in for the pits, the pit crew didn't have his tyres ready, and so Lewis jumped him in the pits, and then after that, he couldn't get by him.
Well, we'll see how this works, because this is not real, this is esports, so people are likely to take a few more risks in this than they are in the actual F1. Let's get some details up. Let's look at those tyres first of all. Top 10 all softs, outside top 10 mediums. Simple.
Yeah, that's, I suppose, what you could expect.
Yeah.
You know, the guys behind have got nothing really to lose by trying the alternate strategy. They know that if they are to get positions, it is most likely going to be done on strategy, not on pure race pace. So you might as well try the alternate strategy from the top 10, go a bit longer, see what happens, maybe get a bit lucky with a safety car when you come in for your pits, and, you know, you might get some good points.
Strategy. There is the strategy on screen. Prediction, anyway, by AWS. It's disappeared before anyone had a chance to properly read it out. Thanks for that. I think it said about 11, didn't it, for softs?
I think, yes. I think it was like 10 for hards or 11 to 12 for softs. I think that's what it was.
Right. The question which you hate and I hate it, but we have to do it. Predictions. Go.
Okay, Rwaggy. I think Zones has got this in the bag, to be honest. The pure pace that he's shown, unless something disastrous happens, I think he will win this race. I think, you know what, Top Tom's a really good and fast driver, but he's just not seemed to have any luck around this league. So I'm going to say Get On will probably get P2 and Brownie P3.
Well, that's kind of rude what I was going for. I was going for Zones, Get Owned, some idiot. But I'll change it up. I still think Zones has got this in the bag. He looked, well, just rapid in qualifying. Zones, Brownie, some idiot. There we go. A slight change.
So Top Tom and Get On to take each other out?
Yeah, you'll see it in a second. Just wait. Lights are on. Lights are off. We're underway for the RNL Grand Prix here at Monaco. And they are now moving. Thank you, game. Everyone looking to get away cleanly and see if they all make it through turn 1. It's looking okay. And the back, yeah, it looks like everyone got through cleanly, which is surprising to say the least. not a lot of movement going on. Hugo's and Yotto appear to have swapped places. Get Owned actually has gone past Top Tom up to P2 then for Get Owned. And it's surprising to say, it has been clean so far. There's a little bit of argy-bargy going on towards the back. That's Dennis dropping Higgsy and Dennis having a little bit of to and fro. Dennis is still in P10 from Higgsy. There's a bit of front wing floating around there. Who's that?
I'm trying to figure it
AlphaTauri.
out, but everyone I've looked at seems to have front wing, so...
AlphaTauri of Higgsy is missing front right.
Ah, yes,
I've just
indeed.
seen it. So it's a good start for Dennis to get that position, get past one of the soft runners, because now you've got one behind you that you don't need to pass later on.
Yep, this has worked out well for Dennis, but he does need to keep his head down and just try and stay on this train. Don't let the softs get away from you. And as his back end steps out a little bit there, that won't be doing you any favours, Dennis. You want to try and keep it as clean and as neat as possible, make these tyres last as long as possible, and that's Safso and Danico coming into the pits, so maybe they both had damage.
I suspect they will. Yes, they do. They're both going to hards then, by the looks of it.
Front wings.
Both on the hards there are going to go for the race. The end of the race on that then.
Yep, which to be fair, that's the correct call. You know, you can't really have multiple stops in here, so now you just need to hope that there's a safety car. And if there is, then you can catch back up to the pack, and hopefully you will have track position.
Well, yeah.
Like Zone's already with a 1.1 second gap over Get Owned. That's pretty decent. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. A little bit of a lock up there, but that won't bother him too much. He's still got the pace, and Get Owned will have to now be keeping an eye on his mirrors more than looking at zones in front.
Yeah, Zone's, as I say, flying away. He does have that extra lap of wear on those tyres. He did 2 qualifying laps at the end to take the pole position. He already had the pole position, but wanted to put a marker down and say, this is mine, get off it. But yeah, so could it cost him? I mean, he's just put in the fastest lap. No real surprise. Being the front driver out there, as DRS has been enabled. Only one DRS straight on this track. It is on the home straight. It's not that useful, but it's not bad. It's just not that great. Just too short, too straight.
You did used to have a second DRS straight through the tunnel, but after a huge crash that was removed, it was just deemed to be a bit too dangerous, which, you know, got to look after the safety, but it certainly made things exciting, seeing all the moves coming into the chicane because of the DRS, but as I say, it was deemed a little bit too dangerous.
It's like 130R, isn't it, in Japan? That's what I'm looking for. Just a bit more dangerous because there's a wall. Is there a runoff area?
Yep.
You have to just clip that wall slightly. It might have done. Yonti is hot on his tail. We've not got any real close battles. There's half a second up front between Top Tom and Get Owned. What's Get Owned got? Is Top Tom going to get close enough? He needs to be right on his gearbox really through this section to have a chance of making that overtake, and he's not.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, lap 1 is your only real opportunity to get some positions. It looks like Top Tom just narrowly missed. No, I think he did hit the wall. He's lost a bit of his end plate.
Oh,
That's caused him some pain, and that will be putting him into the clutches of Brownie now. But yeah, as I was saying, like lap 1 is pretty much the only real opportunity you have for physical overtakes on track. Everything else is a forced opportunity. You know, it's very, very, very fine margins to whether you will get a pass done here or not.
Yeah, it is not an easy place to pass. There are turn 1. You've obviously got an easy place to pass if you get a good run out of the last corner, and if you don't after that, you can up Rwagnation to Massanet. But after that, Mirabeau, the first one. Again, not an easy place to pass. You kind of have to go, I'm coming through here, and close your eyes and hope for the best.
Max Verstappen showed how that's to be done, and I believe Kimi showed how not to be done before.
Not surprised at Kimi.
I mean, Kimi, to be fair, has done that move for many, many years.
Oh, Top Tom's in. Top Tom's in the pits.
Yeah, I think he had to be honest. If he was losing too much time with the wing damage, so hard tyres, get the wing replaced, and then hope when everyone else makes their stops that you can gain some track position, but he's going right down the field now.
He's going to have some free air. Copy's going to be well ahead of him. He's not going to fall back as far as Higgsy. So he's going to have a chance now to put in some good fast-paced laps and make this work for him. He's got to somehow find a lot of time though, and it's not going to be an easy thing to do.
No, definitely not. He has to put everything in it and try and get as basically just qualifying laps from here till then. The tyres will be fine. The tyres will definitely make it, but you just need to keep nailing every lap, gain all the tenths that are on the table, and just risk it all. Otherwise, you're not going to be getting any decent points today.
No, speaking of getting decent points, Danico will not be getting any unless something major happens. He's going for his second pit stop for a second new wing, and we're on lap 5. We're about to finish lap 5.
He's putting medium tyres on this time as well.
He's just trying to spice it up, I think.
That's interesting. Very interesting. I don't know, I didn't see if he had damage, but he might have just decided that I'm not going to catch the pack, so I'll stick the medium tyres on, and if there is a safety car, I'll at least be able to do some overtakes. But
yeah, it's more damage to Danico.
Yeah. Not going well for Danny then. It's not going well for the racing points in general.
The important part at this stage is they are still in the race. And this is Monaco. Anything can happen at Monaco. All it takes is one person hit a wall and the other person just plows straight into the back of them, and 2 people are suddenly out of the race. And with only 14 drivers, if you're in Danico's position, you're up to 12 suddenly. And all it takes is another 2 more retirements, and you're guaranteed a point if you finish. So it's not over until the Fat Lady sings.
Nope.
And I'm not singing tonight.
I'm just looking at the gaps there though, from get on to zones. I mean, six laps in and there's a 3-second gap. That is monstrous. And he's obviously got about 2.5 second gap back to Brownie as well. So those two are kind of just checking out. But zones is zones is in another postcode right now.
Dennis, the first penalty of the day then, as Yonti has come into the pits. Is that a damaged pit stop or is that a regulation pit stop? He is on the soft, so this could be a regulation. Let's see what happens. It's a regulation pit stop.
So there's the first regulation pit stop taking place, and you know what? Top Tom looks like he might actually get the jump on him. It's going to be close.
He has. Oh, sorry. Oh no, lag. I got really excited. Somebody just clouted the wall and then all of a sudden straight to the car and drove straight. I thought, he's hit the wall! Oh no, he's fine. Never mind. I love this game.
Yonte there has... what position was Yonte in when he pit? 6th, was he? 7th?
Around there, yes.
So Top Tom has dropped back a lot of positions as we would expect. So he's still got lots of work to do, but he'll take some comfort knowing that the people in front on the softs now are actually, they're already feeling tyre wear. You know, that's the only reason that Yonte would have came in there.
You say that.
He was having a little bit of tyre.
You say that, but you got telemetry as well up, haven't you? Are you looking at Zones' laps? He's still lapping just as fast as everyone else, if not faster.
True, but Zones is clearly inhuman.
In a different zone, yeah.
Oh, right. I'm away.
Ciao.
Oh, that was upsetting.
It's bound to happen.
If you look at Yalta's times, though, he was dropping off a little bit, so he was definitely feeling the wear, and obviously it was about 11-12 for the soft runners to come in. So right now they've still got a good 3-4 laps to go, so the tyre wear can come a little bit faster and potentially cause problems, but it's definitely not going to be Top Tom back in the podium positions, but it could move him up a place or two. He just needs to stay focused and keep going.
Brownie has pit and he's out ahead of Top Tom, so Brownie was running
it was P2.
4th?
Yeah, P3.
P3. Before it all.
Yeah,
so I mean, I wouldn't rule out Top Tom at this stage, because we're on lap 9 of 39, there's still 30 laps of this. Anything can happen, as Hugo's is in the pits. They are stopping a little bit earlier than the AWS predicted, but AWS doesn't know everything.
Nope. Surprisingly, seeing the might of the Amazon. But yeah, Hugo's looks like he will maybe slot in just between Brownie and Top Tom, So again, it's going to be close, but he should just nip out in front.
Oh, it is close.
Yeah,
Is Top Tom going to get a run at him? No. No, he's not. I thought he was going to get the run. I was getting excited.
He's just got that position, but you know, Top Tom, we know he's a really fast driver, and he's got these tyres nice and warm. He's in the groove with them, so he might try and make a move, or at least hopefully stick with Hugo's on those faster tyres.
Everyone now from Brownie down has had that pit stop that they've required. It's going to be next up. It's going to be the front four to pits as they are coming towards the pits. There is Zones. He is in the pit. Race leader has pitted. Then is going to come in. No, going staying out. Some idiots come in and Can's come in. So Zones is going to come out in P2 probably. But where's Get Owned going to be? Is he going to get the undercut from the Some Idiot and Can?
I would be surprised. Honestly, like maybe Some Idiot. I don't think both of them will get him if he's coming in this lap. I suppose we will wait and see. I know he definitely will have done some practice and lapped on. Came in for his pits on different laps just to see the different wear and times, but he's usually quite good for that. And I imagine he just wants to have a little bit of clear air to just do his thing for a bit before he potentially risks coming back into the pack. But right now, he's looking okay.
Well, I'm looking at the lap time of Poppy, just as an example. He was a second faster than Get Owned was last lap, so it's not looking good as Safso has almost just let Zones through. Then they're on different strategies. No point holding him up at this stage, just in case it causes you damage. Zones then back up to P3 and chasing after Dennis. Where is Get Owned? He's not coming in the pit still. He's still staying out.
Yeah. I think he might be banking on Dennis holding up Zones.
Well, Get Owned does have a slight bit of damage on front right. It's 12%. It's not a lot, but that could be what's playing on his mind at the moment. He's trying to work out, should I change it? Should I keep going? He's approaching puncher territory. If he doesn't come in this lap, we might see a puncher.
I think, yeah, you might be right. I wonder if he is just banking on Dennis slowing Get Owned a little bit. Yeah, Get Owned is right on the back of Dennis, but the problem is that and Zones actually just went right into the back of Dennis there. That's not ideal. But the gap there's not enough. It's not enough for to take the lead here.
I don't think Get Owned's really after the lead because Zones had such a large lead when he came in. It's the copy trying to hold up Brownie and Hugo's is what he's going to be hoping for. And it's currently working as planned. Where is he? He's got to come in this lap. He is now teetering on puncher zone.
And he goes round one more time. Ooh. One more time. He could actually get the lead of this race here.
I'm going to sit and watch Get Owned for a little bit. He's now teetering on that magical 70% where punchers start to appear. Could we see a puncher? It'd be heartbreaking for him.
Possible. It is possible, but I don't know if he's just playing this very smart. Like, it's hard. It's really hard to tell. It looks like he probably is losing time to Dennis though, which is not. He's losing a lot of time to Dennis. So if he was hoping that Dennis was going to be holding,
Zones down the inside there. Dennis, sorry, and Zones has got through. Crucially for Zones, through without issues. And that
very
is
brave move there, but
yeah,
exactly what he needed to do.
He couldn't be held up anymore because he's got Brownie and Hugo's not far behind now. They're all in the same train here, behind what was Dennis but now Zones. And that train goes the whole way down to some idiot in P8. Get Owned is still going. He's not had a problem. Ooh, clipped the wall. Big damage now. 38% front right. He's got to change that now. That's podium potentially gone.
I'm just so surprised. He was lapping so much slower than Dennis. I don't know what he was thinking. But hey ho, that's I might still come back to him at the end of this race if he thinks he can make some moves, but this has definitely hampered him quite a lot. He's going to go right to the end of the pack now.
Yeah, all the pack bunch up quite nicely now behind Dennis. And let's see, where is Get Owned going to come out? He's currently 11th. And Yonti will go past.
So,
Yep.
for all the Dennis fans in chat, I know he's sitting second just now.
Oh,
but
Zone's
I
made a
promise
mistake.
He does have a...
Zones is human. He just clipped the wall of the first of the Mirabos. And he hasn't lost much time, but he definitely clipped the wall.
It's always going to be terrifying round here, but yeah, for you Dennis fans, unfortunately, he still does have to pit.
But he is in a good place. He is the front runner of the people going onto the softs.
Yeah, he's running a great race, but obviously the pack's right behind him, so he's going to lose all those positions. He's going to end up coming up basically just in front of Higgsy at the moment. But we'll see. I mean, he might get lucky with a safety car or something, so still plenty to play for in this race.
Really loud. Can you speak for me? Oh no, you're back to normal. You still there?
Is your sound going all crazy?
I just nudged with my microphone cable, and all of a sudden you got turned up, which makes no sense.
He's a professional, ladies and gentlemen.
I used to be. I'm out of practice.
Right. Okay. Am I too loud now?
No, you haven't really gone up in volume at all. Yes, you are the same as you were before. You jumped up during that issue. I was just trying to find things to entertain us while we watched a train. Choo choo.
Right. Technical difficulties. Happy days. It's good to know that the problem lies within you and not within my setup. So.
I don't know where it lies at the moment. That's really confused me because that shouldn't affect your volume.
Science.
Yeah.
Zones though with an absolutely enormous gap to Dennis. 7 seconds right now, and Safso is just 0.2 behind. He's just dropping back a little bit here. So it's so hard to just stay so close in this sector, but he'll be maybe trying to make a move on Dennis into the turn 1. But they're all on pretty old tyres by now.
Yeah, those 14 laps. They're still got to do quick maths. Well, almost another 15 on these. Maybe 14 or 13. But Get-Owned is now starting to put in some pace. He's coming up to the back of Yelta. And is he going to get past going up the hill towards Massenet? He's looking good. Right in his slipstream. No room for him to come through there. Nearly nudging the back end like he's doing tomorrow on the rear Yelta. Apparently I'm sounding a bit robotic.
Yes, you are. But I thought it was on my end, so I was going to ignore it.
Hopefully that's fixed it. Has that fixed it?
Yeah, kinda.
Okay, kinda. But it has or it hasn't.
Yes, that is back. Never mind.
Good. I'm still robotic.
You're rubbish.
How about now?
But yeah, Owen has managed to get past Yalta, and he is now moving swiftly along and already got up a pretty sizable gap there. And so he'll be trying to get onto the back of Yonti, but Yonti is 5 seconds up the road. So, but if he does catch up to Yonti, he's caught up to the train that leads all the way from P10 up to P2.
Yeah, and important to note that Get-Owned is on the freshest set of mediums of the lot, so he's going to have the most oomph behind him, and they're all going to be held up by each other, and Get-Owned shouldn't be a problem getting to the back of them. Safso really needs to make a move. Really needs to make a move.
I mean, Safso is sitting in a good position right now, but it is also a precarious situation because Dennis has lots of ERS to fight you back with, and you don't really have much to use to get away into the distance if you were to take him. So right now it's just having to sit pretty and hope that there's a mistake made so you can gain that position, but Dennis is actually looking pretty comfortable to hold the guys behind him. But right now we still need to see what happens in his pit stop. As I say, he might get really lucky with a safety car or something to be able to get a really quick pit stop, but at the moment he will end up dropping all the way back down the grid, just here in front of Higgsy, so not great for him.
Well, Zone's last lap did a 12.4, Dennis did a 15 dead. Zones, if this continues, will have a free pit stop to the entire rest of the track. And that will pretty much guarantee he gets a win. He'll go on to the softs, he'll get a bonus point as well for it. So it's very important for these guys to start closing up to the back of zones, if it's at all possible. But to do that, 3 drivers need to be passed by Brownlee, which is not going to be easy to do.
Yep, Brownie's sitting there in a pretty good position right now. He's actually getting onto the back. Oh, nearly. I thought he was going to make a move on a copy there, but you know, at the same time, they're all in the same train. They're all getting the slipstream. They've all got the same tools to use against each other. And as we've pointed out, the DRS here is not that great. So it would be difficult for him to make that move stick. So he's just having to sit in the train just now and bide his time.
A little bit of breaking the train. Sorry. So I was just saying, a little bit of breaking the train. Yonti has pitted. Gound was on the back of him, and Gound is in that little train. That hasn't taken him long at all.
Just catching him. Nope, he's not long at all. He's made the most of those fresh tyres, but right now, every kind of lap that they stick in this train, Zones is just getting further and further and further ahead. But there is absolutely nothing anyone can do to take the fight to Dennis.
Well, yeah, it's very hard to take the fight to him on this type of track. Dennis is doing what Dennis needs to do to hold this position. He's currently on track P2. When he pits, he'll drop probably below Higgsy. It's probably a 20-odd second pit stop, as most tracks are. Gound has made a move on Top Tom, and he is up to P9. So Gound is starting to work his way through. We kind of need it. We kind of need some overtakes to happen, and Gound is trying to deliver.
Yeah, he needs to try and salvage his race. You know, he's the only McLaren driver at the moment, and they are leading the constructors. But for how much longer? You know, as Chan comes into the pits, and that's another position given to get owned, and now he just has to catch back up to the pack once more.
Wing damage then for Can, as he'll drop. He's currently P11. He'll drop very far down after this. Let's have a look further up towards the front. Gound has a little gap to some idiot, but he'll close that up in no time. Copy nearly goes to the back of Safso. They're very late on the brakes. Didn't quite touch him, but that was close. Dennis is now 20 seconds behind race leaders. Penalties coming in. We haven't had too many penalties, actually. I'd say we do a penalty rundown, but there's only 2 people to report on. One of which is in P2.
Yep. Dennis with 3 seconds and Chan with 6 seconds at the moment.
Yeah, there's not a lot to worry about on the front. Oh, as we say that, I think we've jinxed it. We'll be quiet now.
Here goes there with a 3-second time penalty, and he's just a couple of places up the road from get owned, so he's gained that position. He'll gain some more positions when the rest of this pack pit, but he still has to get some overtaking done, because right now he's got some of his rivals right in front of him, and his main rival in Zones is disappearing into the distance.
I wouldn't be surprised if we see Zones pit at around lap 30 to get some softs on at this rate. He's got such a big lead. He'll have... I can't even calculate how much of a lead he's going to have. He's going to have about 30 seconds by the time he gets to that point. And he'll be lovely life.
He might end up doing it. He might, just to try and get the fastest lap and everything, but there's also a risk, you know, involved. Because if you come in for those tires, you're putting yourself towards the pack. And there's Yonte with the 3-second time penalty as well now.
Yeah, we should have mentioned it, should we?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, you mentioned it. I am.
Okay.
Part in this jinx fest.
Someone's got to fill Rwaggy's shoes.
Yeah, you're upholding the mantle very well.
So
yeah,
2 Williams. Yellow flag.
It looks like Yolta has had an incident. I didn't quite see what happened, but he's had a little bit of a spin, and he's now just trying to catch back up to the pack there. But yep, just into the chicane, he's had a little bit of an off, and don't think there's any damage. He's not coming into the pits, so he continues on his way.
So see what lap time he did and see how much he lost on that lap. It would come in
some wing damage going up the hill. I don't
was
know
that?
whose wing, but I just saw Get On to drive over some wing.
Oh, interesting.
And it looked.
Oh, Brownie, a copy.
Like it might have been, yep, Dennis's wing, I think. Dennis has lost his end plate.
Well, there's some moves happening. Brownie's had enough to sat behind copy and made the move. Got his elbows out through the first of the Miros, and he's up then to P4. What can he do from here? Can he get past Safso and Dennis? He doesn't have to, but he kind of wants to because he needs to get a lead over Hugo's, who's starting to make moves. And Hugo's comes together with Copy. Little bit of a nudging, forces Copy off. Copy gets a 3-second penalty for the problems and loses 2 places. Is that something that's going to be investigated? That looked a bit sort of, I'm sticking my car here, making you do you, and I'll worry about myself.
Yeah, I think that he'll probably definitely get that 3-second time penalty removed, but obviously the 2 positions that he lost, and
Can't
he's
do anything about
actually, I think he's went to the pits, so he's got damage as well, presumably. So, yeah, that's completely ruined his race, that one incident. So that'll need to be looked at.
Yeah, no damage though on Copy, but he has come into the pits and he's stopped. He's got a long way to. He's got 17 laps to do on a set of softs. He's just got to be going for fastest lap. We're going to 2 more stops on softs, I think.
Maybe he is just wanting to
have fun.
Yeah, blow up the tyres and see what happens.
Well, if you
bring out a safety cap to bring Danica back into the mix.
Conspiracy theories, people. Brownie making moves then. Oh, Sasso goes down the inside where we just saw that little bit of action and makes the move stick. Beautiful overtake there for Brownie. Up to P3 now for him. And crucially, another car between himself and Hugo's. Hugo's will be looking to make a move on Sasso as soon as he can. Can Brownie get past Dennis before that happens? Get another car between you as Dennis runs very wide. I think that front wing's starting to hurt Dennis. He's not doing too well.
He's definitely lost on pace since he got that damage. I didn't see exactly how he got the hit, but yeah, he's going like 6/10 slower in that last lap there. Oh, and there was a big tank slapper there from Dennis as Brownie got on by.
Yeah, and Hugo gets past Safso. Can his teammate get past? He can. Safso, I thought he's going to stick it down the inside. Safso's lost out another to Get Own. Get Own taking advantage of that. He's still in this race. Hugo's and Dennis are coming to blows around the first of the Mercedes into the hairpin. You can't go too wide here. It does not work. And a little bit of nudging going on for all round. Dennis, I think these mediums have just hit that cliff. They're just starting to drop off.
The wing damage on top of the age of the tyre, this is a painful experience for Dennis right now. He's about to be taken over there by somebody as well as he just locks up coming into the chicane, and Get On nearly goes into the back of him just with how little pace Dennis has now. He needs to come into the pits this lap, but what do you do? Do you risk it from going for a set of softs like Copy's done, or do you go in for hards? I mean,
you can't go to hards.
It's
tough.
No man's land right now.
You've got to do another couple of laps, then go on to softs. He's come in now.
He's decided that he's risking too much, so it looks like he will. I mean, he's going to have to make the soft lap. No, he's stuck on hards. He's sticking on hard tyres.
Playing it safe. Not a bad idea, but
yeah, I would agree. That's probably the wise decision. The softs, you know that you're risking an extra, 25 seconds to pit if you were to not do it. But Zones actually has managed to give himself a penalty there as well. So not that it's really going to affect him any, but it just shows that he is indeed human.
Oh, sorry.
He is making mistakes.
Brownie Hugo's incidents will be investigated after the race, I believe. I just saw on my screen. I didn't get a sound for it, unfortunately, so I didn't get notified to look at it. But I think it was Brownie Hugo's. Will be investigated after the race.
Okay, so interesting. That will need to be something to keep an eye on. But Hugo's is about 1.5 seconds behind Brownie, and he'll be wanting to try and get anything done, any work done onto the track. But both of them look like they're doing okay in terms of no damage. I didn't actually see the incident that the stewards are referring to, so we'll leave that in their capable hands. But right now, Get On just
Hugo's and Copies is also under investigation.
Ah, okay.
So a lot of things going on under investigation right now, and we'll see what comes of that. Brownie's apparently moving. Oh no, sorry, that's a. Never mind. I'm trying to read my Discord at the same time. As Can is going around the outside here of Yonti. Is he going to make the move into Casino? He has. And Yonti, is he going to come back at Can? No, he's not. And it's going to stick like that for now.
That's a 3-second time penalty there for Top Tom, so he's having another mare, but he's just going right upside with Dennis, and they just got squeezed a little bit into the wall. I think, to be honest, Top Tom was just trying to make a move work there that was never going to work, and that's giving him more wing damage.
It's not going well for Top Tom. He was such a good qualifying position. It's not. He's just dropping like a stone now. Somebody just give a little kiss to the wall and get owned. You counted him out. Well, we almost counted him out. I don't think we actually properly counted him out, but he's still in this race.
I never count get owned out. He has pulled off some miraculous results. Honestly, it impresses me every single time I see him in a car. But as I say, definitely made the job difficult for himself.
Well, he's not outside of a chance of a podium at the moment. He has no penalty points to his name as Can has retired. We're going to see a safety car. I think they normally appear straight away. Well, he's retired in the pits anyway. And Hicksy's
I think
also in the
Tom
pits.
was also going to retire in the pits. He was just cutting corners there to get to the end of the thing. Yep, there he's done. And as I say, I mean, it seems every race this man has, he's definitely got the pace. He seems to have a lot of misfortune, and Zones is indeed coming in to the pits and putting on those soft tyres, trying to get that fastest lap. But he's came in a little bit early, has he not?
Well, it's not outside the realms of possibility of doing 13 laps on those soft tyres. It's going to be difficult.
Did he have wing damage there as well? I think he may have had wing damage, but
well, if he had wing damage, I don't think he'd be coming out ahead of Brownie.
I mean, he had over 30 seconds, so it would have still came out in front of Brownie. But yeah, I mean, 25-second loss, so pretty standard pit stop then. But
yeah, I don't think it's a wing change.
Yeah. Well, he's going to be trying to get that fastest lap. He's still got himself a 5-second buffer.
Oh! Yonti and Yonti coming together at turn 1. Sorry to interrupt you there. Big crash between those two. I think it's front wing loss of both vehicles there. Yonti just didn't seem to brake. Or Yelto broke far too early, and just big crash there. Copy takes advantage of it, up to P7 past both of them. And this could bring Dennis into play. I know he's 12 seconds back, but there's a lot of front wing damage on both of these cars.
Yep, Yonti there has no end plates at all. And Yolta is in the same boat, no end plates. So, not going well for either of them. And you would say probably they both have to pit. It's either that or they just lap 3 seconds a lap slower than everyone else. So, and it would be very borderline whether you would get the car round safely.
Well, stop, get some softs on and go after Dennis. Dennis is going to gain 2 positions from this, even if they don't stop, I think. They're well ahead of Danico. Get in the pits, get some softs on, get a new nose, and set your sights on getting those positions back and battling Dennis. I know it's easier said than done, but if you've got no front wing, you can't do much.
Both of them are in. They are listening to it. Both have came in, going to do exactly that.
Well, I don't think they have much choice, but yeah, fresh soft tyres on both those cars. We're waiting for Yonti's tyres to go on. Yes, they are. I think this could make things quite exciting now, towards the end for these guys, the last point positions.
Speaking of exciting, Hugo's has caught up the gap to Brownie, as we kind of expected that he would, but he's not really getting any further forward. We need to see if he's able to. Right now, he's not got much ERS to play with. Brownie's got a little bit more, but if he can save some ERS and then just absolutely bomb it for a lap and see if he can just unsettle Brownie, you know, put him in positions he doesn't want to be in.
There's Zones with the fastest lap.
With the fastest lap. As we would have expected, he is lapping about 1 second faster than the absolute best times of his competitors, and he's lapping about 3 seconds faster than what they're doing right now.
Brownie has a black and white flag for moving under braking, so Let's keep an eye on him and Hugo's and see if he keeps moving and braking. This could cause a penalty coming Brownie's way.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think this is the third time this season Brownie's been given a warning for the exact same thing. He's very much Max Verstappen in 2017. You know, he's just waiting for people to make a move. They go to make the move, he goes to defend, and then as they then go back to the racing line, Brownie then turns to the racing line as he's braking, which is very dangerous. And
little nudge.
he was just nudging him there through the chicane.
That's Hugo saying, I've seen your black and white flag, mate. Move out my way.
Yeah. It is something though that Brownie will need to keep in the back of his mind, because it is very, very aggressive defence. And that can, I mean, as I say, that this is the third time I believe he's been warned for it, so the stewards will eventually start dishing out penalties to you.
Yeah, you can move back to the racing line after you've made a move, but you can't do it in the braking zone. The braking zone is pretty much anywhere around where you start braking. Particularly if it impedes the guy behind, as Summit and Get Owned are trying to impede each other. Get Owned is alongside it. Is he through? Yes, he is. And he's up then to P4. Get Owned's recovery is going pretty darn well.
Yep, you know, not bad. He's got back just to put behind where he was. Really, it was in P2, but he's in that fight for it. And he's got all the ERS to play with and fresher tyres. You know, he could definitely make this work. He's still got all of his wing this time, so let's see. But right now he's got two very fast and very aggressive drivers in front of him battling it out, so he does need to be careful. He doesn't want to risk damage.
We could almost sit back and let them pick themselves to bits. It might work for him that way.
Yeah, I mean, I just had a look at the gap between Brownie and Zones, and my lord, it's already 15 seconds. Jesus. Zones, mate. What are you on?
He's lapping 1.6 seconds. Oh! A receives a 5-second penalty for forcing Copy off the track on lap 21. I'm not sure who A is, but hopefully the stewards will reconfirm who that was. We saw the incident. I can't remember who forced Copy off. Was it Hugo's, wasn't it?
It was Brownie.
Or was it Brownie? If the stewards can get in touch, inform me exactly the message you wish to convey, and we'll double check that. But I've been told by chat it's Hugo's, so we'll soon see. Hopefully we'll get notified again. But yes, so 16.7 seconds. It's looking silly now, isn't it?
Yeah, this is very much a case of Zones driving off into the... Remember at the start of this race where I had thought that Zones might be in a little bit of trouble?
Well, I was concerned about his tyres, wasn't I? And I was like, he's done an extra lap on those softs to start. And no, there was no issues. He just went.
Yeah, he's checked out. He's had an incredible race, an absolutely incredible race. And the only blemish that he's had on this race is that 3-second time penalty that he got. But he's so far in front that he could do that for every lap for the rest of this race and still be fine.
Well, you say that. Don't think it's quite right. Incident of Yelta and Yonti is under investigation. That's the big shunt at turn 1. That's currently under investigation, so we should get a response from that soon. Hugo, as I say, has a 5-second penalty to his name. It's going to cost him a podium. He's going to lose out of the podium anyway, because currently on track he's the only one with a 3-second penalty of these lot. So he was going to lose that, but now he's going to get an extra penalty. And if Copy can catch up, he might. He's got to catch up a long way though, and Copy's tyres are... Bono, my tyres are gone.
Are 10 laps old already. There is almost no way he's catching up.
No,
those softs will be on the brink of death already. So, looks like he will indeed fall back just to 5th place for some idiot, as just now. And he'll probably keep that place to Copy, but it's going to be a bit of a kick in the teeth to him. You know, he made the mistakes, so he does have to accept the penalties, but you know, he'll want to try and at least get the positions on track just as like a bit of pride and a bit of, like, boost to your confidence. But right now you've got Get Owned right behind you, who's fired up, nice fresher boots than you've got on, and really trying to make you work for this.
Further back, Yonti is on the rear of Dennis then. He's currently under investigation, but he's still going to try and pass Dennis. Softs versus hards, and he just can't get the speed. Yonti to get a 10-second penalty. But there goes his chance of actually staying past Dennis for that incident with him and Yota. I'm sure all these penalties will be appealed after the race if they feel hard done by. I don't know Yonti's situation. I don't know if he just didn't brake or Yota broke early, but it's not good news for Yonti. Danico might nick a point if Danico can put his foot down, but again, he's on very old soft tyres. 13, nearly 14 seconds adrift. I don't think he's going to be able to do it, in all honesty, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know. This is racing. I mean, anything can still happen. There could be big crashes. There could be anything happen. I mean, I'm still kind of expecting Coffee's tyres to blow up at any point, so we'll see.
I don't have tyre data, unfortunately, on Copy. That's quite annoying.
Yeah, it's sometimes most of the drivers, to be honest, turn that off so that we can't spy on them too much, unfortunately. But
I think it's more if the other people can't spy on them, but it doesn't really help when Get Owned stays out into mid 70%. Oh, Dennis, that's not going to help you, matey. Another penalty to your name. Now, that's him on to 9 seconds, I'm expecting to see, or is that still 6?
yeah, it's on to 9 seconds, but he's still got 4-second gap onto Yonti after Yonti's penalties get applied, so he should be fine.
Well, time will tell as we go. We are coming towards the end of this race. We're on lap 35 of 39. Well, I say we are. Zones is. The others have just started up 35-39 as they are battling out. Hugo's trying to make moves.
Yeah, he's going for it. He's definitely going for it.
No. Safso with a 3-second penalty to his name as well. Penalty starting to... I think the tiredness is getting in. Penalties starting to come a little bit quicker now.
Yep.
Yeah. So what can Hugo's do? Can he get past Brownie? Even if he does, it's all going to be for now. At the end of the day, he's got 8 seconds of penalties to his name. 3 in game, 5 post-race.
If Brownie thinks that Hugo's is going to be a danger to him, though, he might just let him go. You know, if it looks like Hugo's is making quite aggressive moves, and it's like, I know that I'm going to finish in front of you, so go, leave me alone. And then he just has to defend from Get Owned. But the problem then would be, if he does get passed by Get Owned, he is losing a position. If he gets passed by Hugo's, like, on track, it doesn't matter.
Brownie Hugo's is under investigation as well for the incident on lap 22, so we'll see. Stewards need to make a quick call on that because we are close to the end of the race. I think that should almost be a post-race decision now because how close it is. But at the same time, Hugo's wants to stay behind Brownie because if he makes Brownie keep making dangerous braking manoeuvres, Brownie will get penalties and then he might finish ahead of him anyway. It's, do you want to go past and try and get a lead, or do you want to sit behind him and try and make him make mistakes? Because being in front, he's not going to make mistakes. Brownie's going to make mistakes because he's applying the pressure. Hugo's applying the pressure to him. So
yeah, but if Hugo's gets past and tries to disappear into the distance and then leaves Get Owned to fight Brownie, we've seen how spicy Get Owned and Brownie can be when they're on track together. You know, leave it to Get Owned to make Brownie make mistakes. Hell, let them try and take each other out. You know, if Hugo's disappears in the distance, he could end up securing that P2 if he just, leaves them to fight. But the problem is that there are mistakes happening, and there's a little tap there, Brownie locked up, and then Hugo's locked up into the back of them. So there are definitely mistakes settling in for these drivers.
yeah, Get Owned behind has still got front wing damage. He's on 19% front right damage.
He's one
of the good drivers, let's say, because he allows us to see what his percentages are like. But he's right on the back of Hugo's.
Did he
replace
the wing, do you know?
Yeah, he did, because he dropped so far back, didn't he?
Yeah, so must have got a little bit of damage again, but he's going for the move.
Squeeze!
He's lost more wing. Hugo's is just out there on the outside of the line as Get On tried to squeeze a 2 meter wide F1 car up in that gap, and it's a gap that's always going to disappear around this track because it's just so difficult to be side by side, and that's lost him a little bit of his end plate. But
Yeah, well, he's still holding P4, which will turn out to be a podium. He just needs to stay ahead of some idiot. And I'm sure Hugo knows that his teammate is right behind Get Owned, trying for a podium. That's probably the other reason he doesn't want to pull away, because he needs somebody to try and get past Get Owned. And in order to do that, he needs to give Get Owned a little nudges here and there and put him off his game. Let's have a look at Brownie. Brownie's cutting corners there. That was close to a penalty, I thought.
yeah, that's.
Oh, Brownie 5-second penalty for moving under braking on Hugo's on lap 22. So that's a very old penalty, and that is going to gift Get Owned P2.
Yep, that'll be music to his ears after that little tap that he just got. But again, I think it's probably deserved. As I say, this is I think the third time that he's been warned. So the stewards do take a note of every time that you're having infringements, and they'll be aware that it's like, this isn't the first time, this isn't the first offence. You've been doing this consistently. So yeah, it makes sense that he gets it done. He gets the penalty, but unfortunately for him, he gets the penalty in this race when he's part of the train. So he is going to be losing several positions due to that 5 seconds.
Yeah, he's still going to stay ahead of Hugo's, but he's going to drop down to P4. Get Owned will take P2 from some idiot. Let's not forget the race leader's still there. He's 32 seconds ahead of Brownie now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, let's
should we give him some showtime?
Stewards, can you just mandatory pit stop for? In fact, it doesn't even matter. Zones is now on the final lap. Ignore me.
Oh,
he's already winning.
Hugo's lost the back end.
From Hugo's. Big thanks up on, and Get On's going to try and make a move here, but this could be disastrous.
Doesn't need to. He doesn't need to.
He doesn't need to do it, but obviously
Jeff needs to be on the phone to him.
Oh god! Final lap shenanigans going on here. And he's slipping back in, but this is actually helping out Brownie a little bit. Can he get a gap? It'd be pretty big to do it.
Get Owned, it's locked up into there. Let's have a quick.
I don't know if Get Owned has a mechanic. He might not know about the penalties.
I don't know. I'm going on board quickly with Zones. He's coming around the final couple of corners. He's going to take a very, very, very comfortable win. Even despite 2 stopping, he's still 33 seconds ahead of the field as we look straight back now towards Get Owned, and they are starting to spread out a little bit. Has the dust settled on this now? Brownie will finish P2 unless something happens, as Dennis has left the session in P11. He's finished, sorry. I didn't realise that he's that far. They have been lapped back there in 10th and 11th. Brownie then.
Here comes the train now.
So Brownie will finish in P2 ahead of Hugo's. Brownie and Hugo's will receive post-race penalties of 5 seconds apiece, which means Get Owned will take that second place, and some idiot will take the third place off Brownie. So despite a decent race for Brownie, penalties are going to cost him that podium, unfortunately for him. Where's Copy? Who's coming to the line? Copy with P6. And yes, last 2 drivers.
And there's some idiot, he always delivers in the races. He focuses on the races a lot more than qualifying, and he's managed to have a good race there and get himself a podium.
Yeah, Yelta came across the line in P8, so he'll be happy despite that big incident down in turn 1. He'll still get some points. Copy is your driver of the day, according to the game. Well done to Copy. And there we are.
And I'll ask you the question, who's your driver of the day?
I think there can only be one person. I really don't like going for the person that wins, but can you go for anyone else realistically?
I mean, he did get a penalty, just shocking behaviour by Zones there.
And yet he still finished 30 odd seconds ahead. Had 2 stops as well. He was in a different zone, and I know that you hate to when I make a bad joke, and that's not a bad joke. That is completely right here. He was in a completely different zone to everyone else here today. No one could get close.
He absolutely was. Fantastic rundown from him.
Right. I think we have some interviews now. Let's put that back on. Right. Who do we interview? Do we interview top three as they finish or top three actual?
Top three actual, so it would be Some Idiot,
Some
Get
idiot.
Owned, and then Zones.
Where is some idiot? There he is. He's down in the wing shot. Let's move on up. Coach room. Some idiot. Congratulations, man. You got a P3 there. After post-race penalties will be applied. How'd you get on?
That was pure stress in that train. Man, it should have been P2. I screwed up and Gadon got by me there with like 10 to go. He did a kind of move under braking on the last lap as well. I have to see what went on there. We'll see what happens. But you know what? Podium. That's what I
Yeah.
want. That's what I want. Those are the results. That's what the team deserves at Williams. So
Yeah, you put in a great performance there.
Thank you. That train was just complete.
At one point, there's a train from second down to I think 10th or 11th. Just the constant train, everyone within DRS. It was great to watch. When people started making moves, it made it a bit more exciting. But yeah, unfortunately, you kind of missed out to get owned. Hugo's and Brownies, you may know, got 5-second penalties, so they'll be dropping down. Yeah, decent race there for you. Next week we are in. I don't even know where we are next week. I haven't prepared at all.
Break week, and then back.
Break week next week, and then back.
How do you think you're going to get on next week?
I'm going to enjoy my break. That's what I'm going to do.
Got any plans?
Sorry?
Got any plans for the break week?
Actually, I haven't seen my girlfriend in 3 months because of all that's been going on with COVID. So I'm going to actually be able to see her for once. Finally
Good
be able
stuff.
to do that. So I'm looking forward to it, man.
Good. What about Azerbaijan? We go there. We got a street race after street race. How do you think you'll get on in Azerbaijan?
I've never been great in Azerbaijan in the F1 games, but this year I think is a little different. Something I kind of want to say is I am a huge Sergio Perez fan, and that is probably his best track of all of them in F1. So it's my responsibility to go find some speed in Baku. So we're gonna see what happens. I've got something I feel optimistic for, and yeah, we'll see what happens. That's the way to go at it. Don't think it's a winning car, but maybe I can see you guys again 2 weeks from now here.
Let's hope so. Thanks for being here. We will now go on to Get Owned, who...
Yes, sir. I'll jump out.
Cheers. You somehow, Get Owned managed to come back from punting the wall several times, going 15 laps on a set of softs at the start of the race, and yet he still got P2. How did you do it?
That was quite a random race, I have to say.
Well, yeah, you punted the wall as you coming into the pits, and then once you got going towards the end, you punched the wall again, and we thought, oh no, what's he done now? But yeah, penalties works in your favour.
I was really triggered lap 1 because I got random wing damage. I didn't even touch something. Like after turn 2, I had wing damage, like 10%, I think. And yeah, then Zones was just gone. I couldn't do anything. And then I decided to stay out as long as possible on the softs to have an advantage at the end. I mean,
it worked.
Yeah, it worked, but yeah, I mean, it's just sad that I got wing damage. I think I could have be ahead of the guys ahead, but yeah.
There's only one guy heading in that Zones at the end of the day. You finished P2 after post-race penalties were applied.
I mean, on track, but
yeah. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you finish on track, it's how you finish on the actual. I mean, penalties may be appealed, but you still effectively currently got P2. I don't know if Brownie has a leg to stand on for his penalty. It's not up to me, it's up to him and the stewards. But you did a great race. We half counted you out after you went 17, 15 laps and took front wing damage. We thought, he's never going to come back. And you did. That train worked so well for you, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I always believed that I can catch up to the guys ahead. I think I had a massive pace advantage. I mean, they were just braking 20 meters earlier than me, and they were going really slowly into the fast corners, and I was yeeting it into it every time, and I had to brake. Yeah, and then I got wing damage because of dirty air. My car just went straight. Yeah, unlucky, but yeah, I mean, I'm glad Monaco is over. But from now on, things will look better.
So next week we've got a break week. Any big plans for the break week?
Not really.
Not really. Fair enough. And then we got Baku, Azerbaijan, week after that. How do you feel about that track? Is that going to be you staying on top of the podium that time?
I will say it like this: it's better than Monaco, that's for sure. And I will give everything I have, because yeah, Monaco is just awful to drive with these cars. It's disgusting.
Well, yeah, you can at least overtake it, Baku, can't you?
Yeah, that's great. But yeah, let's see.
Something really loud.
Baku
Sorry?
should be better for me.
Fair enough. So everything's turned up really loud. I think I've worked out why I had sound problems earlier, but I'll sort that out later.
It's a bit late for that now, is it not?
Well, I reckon it's the voice was turned down. The in-call thing turned me down. Turned everything down. But yeah, so yeah, that's next race 2 weeks time, Azerbaijan. Hopefully we'll see you at the top, and well done for joining Shizou from a fellow Shizou person. So
thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Look forward to seeing what you can do for the company. So yeah, that is it. Zones isn't around unless he suddenly appears in one of the channels. It is done and done. I'm just checking to see if he's hiding. He's not. Yeah, so everyone, thanks for being here. I don't think Zones is going to be around for an interview, which is kind of a shame. I kind of wanted to speak to him and see how he entertained himself throughout that entire race.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I think he got bored. We've spoken to Nicholas Longue once upon a time, driving in Monaco. He ended up going AI at one point because he wanted to go sort his music out. And I think Zones might have done the same sort of thing. He just had nothing else to do out front.
Yeah, it was definitely a one-man race, wasn't he?
To say the least, yeah. He says, JC asked him if he couldn't do it. He says, I can't, sorry, I have a lot of stuff to do. That's why he's in a rush.
Fair enough.
That's why he drives so quickly. He's in a rush. He wants to get the race done so he can get on with the next things. But yeah, thanks, Badger, for being here. It's been fun. It's been a while since I know. We've had a few teething issues, but that's just down to the fact I've not commentated in. Oh Christ! I mean, it's probably about 6 months now, isn't it? Feels about that.
Pretty sure.
Well, it was probably the last couple of weeks before the new game came out. I last commentated, so it has been a very long time. Thanks for being here, Rwaggy. Thanks for letting us stream on your channel. Hopefully, we've not got you banned. And yeah, we'll look forward to seeing you 2 weeks' time as the next race, as we say, in